Hey guys, happy March. We are here to talk about my February favorites, and February was a pretty good month, I have to say. So I got to send out my 35K giveaway prize to the winner, who was Donna Ingram. I know a bunch of you have been asking. I posted it to my Instagram stories, and I also posted it to my community tab that she won. And also in February, I don't know, about towards the beginning, I thought, you know what? Why don't I try and post a video every single day in February? Let's just see how that goes. And I did, except for one day. So I'm both happy and annoyed. I'm happy that I basically got 27 videos in there, but pretty annoyed that I missed that one day. So anyway, February was a great month. I have a lot of stuff to talk about because in those 27 videos, I really discovered quite a few things, and I've also been using some things from my regular collection that I've just been loving. So as usual, I'll have split screens of anything that I do actually have on my face today. Otherwise, I'll just do a close-up shot of the product. So I'm gonna start with a product that I would normally overlook. I don't usually talk about lip balms very often, but I purchased this and I love it. I really, really love it. This is the xoxo Essential Lip Serum Stick. And there's, I think, maybe 6 different colors. I think there's a clear one, and then they have tinted ones. There isn't a lot of information on this tube, so I'm going to link to it down below in my description box, as with all the other products that I talk about. But I didn't get the clear one. It's just very, very, very faintly tinted. But this is what the packaging looks like. So we have this brushed gold here, this shiny gold here. It has this beautiful, it looks like a stone, but I think it's just plastic, but it looks like a stone, and it'll show you what color you basically have inside. And here is the product. So this is basically the color that I have. It's pretty much clear. I'm just going to hold that up. So there's like a little bit of a tint, like ever so slightly. So it really is just a balm. I don't know that I would call it like a tinted lip product. Like, I don't even think it takes it that far. But what I love the most about this is the actual lip balm. So it is not a very thick one. It doesn't just sort of sit on your lips. It's a little bit on the thinner side. So it really kind of just soaks right into your lips. Like, if your lips feel dry, like they're dry at that very moment, sometimes when I put on some of those like super nourishing lip mask, like thickly formulated lip balms, I don't feel like they're doing anything other than kind of protecting my lips from getting drier, because it takes so long for them to actually get absorbed. But this, I feel like, helps my lips immediately. And this is great for like makeup prep. So if I put this on like first thing and I do my makeup, by the time I get to my lip product, it's already soaked in. There's like nothing for me to wipe away, because sometimes when I use thicker lip balms, I have to wipe them away. Sometimes I forget. It then dilutes the lipstick that I put on. It's a whole mess. So I've really been enjoying this xoxo Essential Lip Serum Stick. Is that the full name? Essential Lip Serum Stick. Yep. So the primer that I've been using and loving, nothing new here, the Armani Prima Moisturizing Glow On Balm. Love it. This has been probably in my past 2 favorites, but it's just great if you have dry skin. Oftentimes, if I wear a full face of makeup all day, you know, from like morning to dinner time, I will feel it. Like, my skin will feel like it's had makeup on there. It'll feel like a little bit has been like sucked dry. But with this on, it doesn't ever get that feeling. Like, I always feel like I have this moisture lock protective balm on my face, but it's thin. It's not like I've put on this like a goopy moisturizer. It's just this wonderful like layer between skincare and makeup. I've been loving it. So nothing has changed there. This has been my favorite for the past month. And then foundations, nothing really new to report here either. I've been really enjoying the Sisley Fito Blanc. I have it in the shade 3. I think I mentioned this last month. And today and the past month, I've also been loving the Clé de Peau, the foundation. Again, nothing new, but this is definitely something I whip out in the winter time. And this past February in Vegas has been interesting. I've been loving it. It snowed. It actually snowed a couple of times, and right now it's actually like storming outside. It's like high winds, a lot of rain. It's just been a really, really interesting month for Vegas, I think, temperature-wise. So anyway, I have needed this extra moisture, and the foundation from Clé de Peau really feels like it's a cream first and then like a makeup product after. But that's not to say that it's not a gorgeous foundation on the skin. I just think it looks flawless. It looks really smoothing. It is definitely hydrating. I have extremely dry skin and I definitely have to powder down this foundation. I have to set it because it's like that moisturizing. So I have been loving this for the drier months. Okay, let's talk concealers. So I have the Giorgio Armani Stretchable Power Concealer on this eye. This is an amazing concealer. I really, really enjoy it. It has a really thin texture. It has pretty decent coverage. I think it states that it's medium buildable coverage. I think it's definitely like medium to full, for sure. It does a really, really great job at kind of like blurring my fine lines. It doesn't sink into my fine lines. I'll say that. It doesn't exaggerate my fine lines. And I find that it lasts all day. So I have been using this a lot this past month. I really, really love this. I think what's the most surprising after reading the name and after reading its qualities, how it's supposed to be medium, high coverage, it's buildable, all those things, I immediately thought it was going to be a thicker, tackier kind of concealer. But it's so, so thin and weightless, and it is so comfortable on the skin, and I just love it. So that is the Armani Stretchable Power Concealer. The other concealer I want to mention, I had filmed a whole like full day wear test review, everything on this concealer, and my footage was like completely corrupted and I just haven't had time to refilm it. So I think I'm just going to talk about it now. I'll make it brief because I know this is a favorites video, but this is the YSL Touche Éclat High Cover a Radiant Concealer. This concealer I have on my left eye, and I like it because it's creamy. I think it's creamier than the Armani Power Concealer. This is just very, very like thin. It's not watery, but it's just thin. This, there's a little bit more of a creaminess to it. What I've also noticed with this is that I need to use more product than the Armani. This, I felt like when I first put it on, it didn't feel like high coverage at all. It felt like a very light coverage concealer because I don't normally put like a lot of makeup on. I just like a light application. I use as little as possible. So I put on what I normally would put on, and I was like, this is not high coverage at all. But I realized this is very buildable and it stays creamy and it stays comfortable on the skin. So the next day when I used it, I used basically like twice as much. And you'll see here in the split screen that I use quite a bit, at least for me, because I don't like to use a lot of heavy coverage concealer. I just don't think it looks very flattering on more mature skin. But I decided to give it a go. I put like twice as much concealer on as I normally do. And then I felt like I got what they were claiming to be high coverage. So in terms of comparing it with these two, this I needed to use more than this to get the same amount of coverage. I also find this one to be of a creamier consistency than this concealer. What I also noticed, and probably because this one is creamier, I don't find that this one has as much longevity as the Armani one. So for me, that's not the biggest deal. I would rather have a concealer that kind of fades away nicely. It's not like it separates or like it does anything weird and just sort of kind of flakes off or anything weird like that. No, it just kind of fades evenly. By the end of the day, I just felt like I could see a little bit more of my discoloration underneath my eyes than I could with the Armani. So the first time when I wore it and I didn't put a ton of it on, it didn't even last like 6-8 hours. I was like, this is not good at all. Then when I put more on, it lasted a good solid 8 hours and then it started to fade after that. I did like a 10-hour wear test with it. So I like this concealer. I will definitely keep using it, but if I had to choose, I would definitely go with the Armani stretchable concealer. Some people have also asked me to compare this to the Clé de Peau Radiant Creamy Concealer. That one is much more radiant. It has an even creamier consistency, and I think the coverage of that one is maybe just a hint lighter than this one. That one I feel like is more of a brightening, radiant, like eye treatment situation versus either of these. All right, so that's the concealer situation for this past month. So next up I have kind of an old product. This is the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate. This is the cream version. So I have it in shade intensity 1. So that's the highlight and that's the contour, both cream products. And I have the contour product on my face today. I didn't use the highlight because there's another product that I wanted to use and mention. So I whipped this guy back out because I was at the Tom Ford counter at Nordstrom here, and the sales associate there mentioned that they're going to be coming out with 2 new shades of this shade in Illuminate, a lightest one and then a darkest one. And then anyway, it just reminded me of this product, so I pulled it back out and I've been using it, and I'm simply reminded how much I really, really like it. I love the contour that it gives. It's definitely on the warmer side, so I feel like I'm giving myself like a very soft, more of a bronzy contour look, and I don't mind that. And I really love cream products. And again, the weather here has been so crazy that I've been loving kind of like creamier moisturizing products on my skin. So I've just been using this and I'm loving it. But if you have found that you like this product but you can't find the right shade for you, keep an eye out. I think she said they were coming out, I think in April. So if shade 1 was too dark for you, they're coming out with a lighter one. And if the darkest one wasn't dark enough, they're coming out with an even darker one. So I thought that was pretty exciting. What else? So I have some blush products. I think this is probably appearing in most people's favorites this month, but this is the Natasha Denona Bloom Blush and Glow palette. I just love this palette. I did a whole review on this and I'll link it right here for you guys. There are 2 cream products, like a highlight base, a blush base, and then a highlight powder, and then like a blush powder. I have all 4 products on my face today, and I just love this palette. I think it's such a fun product. I love the packaging. I love that there's 2 cream products, that there's 2 powder products, that you get like this really, really just glowy all over cheek. You know, if you use all 4 products, you're just gonna get this like bright, glowy cheek situation. But what's great is you don't have to use all 4 of the products. You can go ahead and just use the powder products. You can use like one of the creams, one of the powder, like you can really just mix and match. You don't really need all 4 to achieve any kind of look. It's not like one builds on top of the other. They can, but it's not necessary. So I've just been having like a lot of fun with this palette. I don't know, it's one of those makeup products that like I love pulling out of my drawer and and using it. I just get really excited. So it's just one of those products. So that is the Bloom Blush and Glow palette. Of course, I've been using my Chanel Golden Sun. I'm not even gonna bore you guys with that again because I think that's appeared in my last 2 favorites. I'm not gonna mention the Chanel stuff that I just talked about because that's too new, but I have a feeling that Tweed Blush, that new Tweed Blush in Tweed Beige, is definitely gonna pop up in my March favorites. That is a beautiful blush. And then one more blush that I have to mention, but this is the new Sicily Orchid blush. This is the one in the new coral shade. I just love it. It has such a beautiful, silky, kind of satiny finish to it. I love the sheen that it gives, and I have definitely worked through the overspray, and I was afraid once the overspray was gone that it wasn't going to have like a really pretty kind of glow to it, but it does. Like the actual powder in here has like a satin finish to it, and it's just really stunning. It's so beautiful on the cheeks. I think I used this in a playing with new makeup video, and I got a lot of really nice compliments from you guys about this blush and how pretty and like lively it made my face. So I've been loving this one, and I think it's going to be really great for springtime. So beautiful. All right, let's talk about a few eye products. I don't have anything new in regards to eyebrows. I still use the same thing for my eyebrows. I use the same thing for my mascara. I've been using that Japanese Can Make Quick Lash Curler mascara. But I do have a few eye products in here. One is pretty new. Let me just start with that. But this is the Chanel Ombre Premier in 840 Patine Bronze. I have this all over my lid, and I've been wearing this as like a one shadow look a lot. And some people have asked me like what that means. And a lot of times, I think when people do shadow or when I do eyeshadow, I put at least 2 or 3 colors on to kind of create a little bit of dimension. I'll add a darker color to the outer corner. Maybe I'll add like a little highlight color to the center just to kind of give my eye this dimension. You know, it just sort of accentuates your features in a positive way. But when you do a one shadow look, there really isn't the opportunity to do that. But I feel like there are a lot of shadows that work really well just all by themselves, and I have found that they are shadows that have a little bit of dimension to them. They don't necessarily have to be like metallic and glittery, but I find this shadow, along with some other shadows that I've mentioned this about it being like a very good one shadow color, is that it has a lot of dimension all by itself. So I don't feel like I necessarily have to add a darker color, add a lighter color, things like that, because of the sheen maybe, or just the different pigments in there. They kind of give you that dimension when you just look straight on. A lot of times I'm not going to use like a matte taupe color as a one shadow because it's very flattening. Matte colors are very flattening. But if you have a shadow that has like basically like dimension kind of like built into it, like I feel like this one does, just because of the way it kind of like reflects light, I think it's great as like a one shadow. Like you just get enough going on that you can just put this one color on all over the lid and it looks really pretty. So I started by putting this all over the lid, and I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like all by itself and what I've been doing a lot since I got this, just putting this all over the lid and kind of being done with my eyeshadow. And then two eyeshadows that I've been pulling a lot because they're very kind of similar, I guess, in feel, but that's the Chantecaille Polar Ice 9-pan eyeshadow and Viseart's Koi 12-pan eyeshadow palette. Both of them only have like shimmery shades, so they're great complementary palettes to maybe more basic or neutral palettes that you have. And so that's what I've been doing. I have, as you guys know, I have a lot of neutral basic palettes, and I'll put that on and then I'll pull out one of these and add it to the inner corner, add it to the center of my lid, add it to like my lower lash line area just in the center there, just to make my eyes pop a little bit, you know, just a little something. So that's how I personally have been using these palettes. You guys know I don't really do like super bright kind of crazy eye looks, so I've been loving just kind of using these as a complement. So today I went in with this shade in the Polar Ice, and all I did was just add it basically to like the inner portion of my lid over the Patine Bronze, and that's it. That's like my eyeshadow look, and I just love it. You know, it just adds like a little bit of brightness, it adds a little bit of fun, you know, a little bit of sparkle there, and they're just gorgeous. In terms of formula, because I know you guys are going to ask, in terms of formula, the Chantecaille Polar Ice is very creamy. It almost feels like a little bit wet to the touch if you go ahead and swatch them. The Viseart Koi eyeshadows feel a little bit more like Viseart shadows. They're a little bit more like they just feel like a pressed powder. And in terms of performance, I think both of them perform comparably. I don't think I like one more than the other. I think a lot of people were asking me, which would you go for? I just think it's a matter of color story. And if you like really, really like creamy feeling eyeshadows, then I would go for the Chantecaille. But if you're a fan of Viseart shadows, and if you want more variety of color, like you like kind of colorful eye looks, obviously I think you should go for the Viseart Koi. But other than that, I feel like the effect on the eyes, very, very similar. And then one last thing in regards to eyes, I just recently talked about these and I've been using them nonstop. So a friend of mine turned me onto these. She's like, these are great. They don't move. I love the colors. They're great. These are the Trish McEvoy 24-hour eyeshadow and liner. So these are like a shadow stick. They look just like the By Terry. They look like the Laura Mercier, basically all the other shadow sticks that I have, but these really stay put. Like my one complaint about the By Terry ones, like I always had heard that they were really long lasting and they stayed put. Those don't really stay put on my eyes. I feel like they move a little bit, that they don't actually set all the way down. These set all the way down and they go onto my waterline smoothly and they don't budge. I have it on my waterline today, and then I basically like smudged out my upper lash line with it, and this is in the color Topaz, and they're wonderful and they just don't budge. They're amazing, absolutely amazing. So if you're into shadow sticks, I really highly recommend these. All right, let's move on to lips. I have a lot of lip products, and I did that whole roundup luxury lipstick video. I love the majority of those lip products, so it was hard to kind of narrow it down, and I didn't actually do a very good job. So again, we're gonna try and go through this quickly. First, we have the Tom Ford Lip Lacquer Luxe. I liked them when I got them. I had no complaints. I thought they were really nice, but I found myself reaching for them over and over and over all month, and I was like, wow, I really like these. You know, I like these a lot more than I thought I did. So today I have Quiver on, which is in the matte finish. So there's two finishes, part of this line. There's matte and then there's vinyl. And then I've been using Insinuate in the vinyl finish a lot as well. So these are my favorites, basically. I got 6 altogether, but these are the 4 that I've been reaching for the most. So in the matte finish, it's been Quiver, which is what I have on my lips, and Darling, which is a little bit lighter. And I've been reaching for these a lot. And then the vinyl ones is Insinuate and Knockout, which is like this crazy bright orange red color. These are the 4 that I'm just reaching for over and over again. So here are some swatches of these 4. I have Darling, and I'm going from left to right. Darling, Quiver, and again, those are in the matte formula. And then I have Insinuate and Knockout, and those are in the vinyl formula. So the matte formula, it's a soft matte. They don't dry down completely, so they're very, very comfortable on the lips. Perfect for someone like me who does not like the liquid lipstick or really, really matte lipsticks, just not for me. And then the vinyl finish is definitely more of a kind of thick, high gloss kind of finish, and again, just wasn't, you know, liked them, but just wasn't sure if I was going to love them, but I just love them. They're just really pretty, really comfortable, easy to wear. The applicator on these is great. They're pointy, so it just makes them really easy to apply. You don't need a lip liner. Sometimes I'll use a lip liner just to kind of like fill it out a little bit, but you don't need one, and I've just been loving them. So those are the Tom Ford Lip Lacquer Luxe. And then, yes, I've been loving the Chanel new Rouge Coco Flash lipsticks, and I have 4 colors. Deepness is the one that I most recently purchased. So this is basically like a sheer black color, and I just love it. All it does is like desaturate whatever color you have on your lips underneath, or your natural lip color. And I like that. I really like that. It reminds me of the Ciroc Beauty Lip Luster in Ton. It's just gorgeous. The formula of these, amazing. These replace the Rouge Coco Shine, which I was really kind of upset about because I love the Rouge Coco Shine, but I do love these so much more. And how much do we love it when a company replaces something that you love with something that you love more? That doesn't happen often. It does not happen often, but it happened this time, and I'm really happy about it. So loving this, and it really is the formula that is incredibly stand out. So if you can find a color that you like, that you enjoy, I would not hesitate in getting one of these, trying them out. They're just incredibly nourishing and comfortable on the lips. And then this is like, I didn't even think about it, but this is sort of a similar situation to the Chanel Rouge Coco Flash, but these are the Clé de Peau Refined Lip Luminizers. And this replaced their previous lip luminizer, and I like these more. I actually did not put 2 and 2 together, but yeah, same situation. I like this newly revamped lip luminizer more. The other lip luminizer felt a little bit more, I don't know, kind of like oily on the lips, which always felt great, and I love them. And, you know, it was a sheer kind of like comfortable lip situation, which you guys know I love. And it came in a refillable case and everything. And then when they announced these, I was like, oh no, like what are they doing? Why fix something that's not broken? But I like these a lot more. I find the pigmentation to be more even, much like the Flash versus the Shine. And I don't find these quite as like slick and slippery on the lips. They feel just a little bit more like solid on the lips. So they're just really comfortable. I have 2 colors, one Old Rose and this one, number 6, Rose Draggy. And there it is. You know, just not much to swatch because they're kind of like a sheer lip color. And I don't have my Old Rose here because it's actually in my purse, because that's the kind of lip product these are. You just want to throw them in your purse. They feel great. They add a little bit of polish to your look. They're not like this overly done makeup look in any way. So been loving these. I had to mention the Pat McGrath lip glosses, the new color range that she came out with. These are the 2 that I've been reaching for a lot. Future Femme and Nude Negligee. So this is Future Femme, this one is Nude Negligee, and you can see that they're just both like a very light color. This one is like a milkier kind of color, and this is what I have over the Tom Ford Quiver today. I just kind of tapped it in the middle of my lips here. But this is great because, like I mentioned, I'm not the biggest fan of matte lips, and despite the way they feel, I also just don't like the way they look. They usually just make me look really dead. So even though I can wear these by themselves, and you know, they look okay, because again, these are soft matte, I still like to add like a little something to them. I'll throw this over it just on the center there. And this Future Femme color I've been loving because it has a very cool tone to it, and with all the cool tone eye looks that have been coming out and I've been doing more of, this has been really handy. So been loving this as well. And then last but not least, in terms of lips, God, I feel like I've been talking forever. This is the Bond number 9 lipstick. The packaging alone is definitely something amazing. But Bond number 9, if you guys don't know, they are a perfume house, and they just came out with their first lipstick line, and there's 9 different reds. They're all named after either neighborhoods or streets in New York City, and the packaging is just phenomenal. It looks like one of their Bond number 9 perfume bottles, a little bit smaller obviously, and then this is their logo. It looks like an old New York City token, and this is actually pretty weighty. And then this lipstick comes out, and it's like, I guess it's magnetized, but it really feels like it's like suctioned in. So anyway, I have the color Park Avenue. All 9 lipsticks are a red, and they all have the same formula, which is basically like a cream formula. But these red lipsticks, they're so saturated with color. They go on beautifully on the lips. They're really, really comfortable. They're very bold, and they have a little bit of a thicker texture, so there's a little bit of longevity there. They're a cream lipstick, so they're not gonna last like all day, but it made it through like one meal pretty good. So I'm really excited for them to expand their line. The sales associate at Saks told me that they were gonna be coming out with like a line of nude colors, probably in the springtime, so I would look out for it in like April, May. But once they come out with nude colors, I'm gonna be like all over it. And there's like 3 different ways that you can purchase these. You can purchase this with the case. You can purchase just the refill. So these are refillable. Or you can purchase the lipstick with the case and then an extra refill. So I will link to everything again down below and have all the information down there for you guys. But this is just, oh my God. But this is just so extra. It's like it's just so crazy. I love it. I love it. But the last makeup product I want to mention is this Dior Air Flash Radiance Mist Primer and Setting Spray, Long Lasting Airbrush Radiance. That's this guy. I think I mentioned this a couple times last year when I first purchased it. It's great, and I definitely use it more as a setting spray than I do use as a primer, but I have used it as a primer and it's lovely. It kind of just like smooths out your skin. It's just such an interesting product, but when you use it as a setting spray, you look like you've been airbrushed. It is amazing. And so I used this a lot last year when I first got it, and then like I put it on my shelf and just kind of completely forgot about it. And just this past month, I was kind of like cleaning up my shelf, and there it was. And I was like, oh my God, I'm like, I love this. So I started using it again, and it's just great. In fact, I'm gonna put some on right now. I wonder if you guys can see the difference, but like immediately, at least for me, when I look in the mirror, all of a sudden my skin looks softened. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. So anyway, I'm glad I kind of unearthed this guy. And I think that's it. I have so many other things I would love to talk about every single month, but it's already ridiculous. This video is already ridiculously long. So I'm going to stop there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what some of your favorites have been for this past month down below in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.